What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. The market just closed 48 minutes ago. We're going to be discussing the stocks and the price levels that I am watching for next week. All we ask for is you guys, if you could just leave a like. It's completely free. It takes 2 seconds and it helps out the channel tremendously. Also, make sure you check out the first link down below. That will redirect you to our free chat room. I'll say it again, guys, and I'll continue to say it. Tesla, for me, I don't feel comfortable swinging it, and I'm always going to approach it as a day trader. We scalped Tesla today. We're up. And finally, I went bigger on the positions. Usually, I go 10, 15 shares per position, but today we were going 30 up to even 50 shares per position. We're up 346 on this one. This is not bad. As you can see, some of the gains got bigger as we predict as we move towards the end of the week. That's because I just had the momentum continuing the green streak. I think we're 2 weeks on a green streak, so let's continue that. As for Tesla, I'm kind of surprised. We had a slight end of day push. Test is 602. Now the real question is that on the 4-hour we are going to retest the 607s. That end of the day push kind of gave me some hope headed into next week. If we do see a break past 607, Tesla, I think, will have some massive momentum, and I do think we could see possibly the 630s by the end of that day, whether it be Monday or Tuesday. And we did have that dip here down to 540s, which I still do believe the 550s is going to be a pretty decent support level. So watch for Tesla. This is probably my number one on my list headed into next week. Two other EV stocks that I'm waiting to pull back is NIO, which on the 5-minute, it looks like it could double bottom at 38. This time, I'll be more than glad to buy some shares at 38. On the 4-hour, we did have a small loss on this one today. I tried to buy the dip. On the 4-hour, the $38 mark is right around where the SMA is at. So that kind of gives me a little bit more confirmation. And of course, we have the 35 level, which is what I've been talking about, my price level for the past 2 or 3 weeks as it had this run up to 58. XPEV is another one that we're watching as it pulls back, headed down under the EMA. Another one that could possibly double bottom at 45. And if it does crack, it's going to probably maintain some support around the $40 mark. Apple almost broke even on this one today. But this one on the 4-hour, I do think we could come down again. And let me see. Let me pull up the 15-minute. I'm not a buyer at the 120s. I do think this could come down towards the 119s. I'd be more than glad to get in on around the 110s, because if you look at the 4-hour, this is the upward momentum that we have. The higher lows here at 103, higher lows at 108, higher lows at 112. So even if it pulls back to around 110 and it bounces off of there, that'll be a good play. Another one that we're waiting to pull back that I want to get in is SNDL, which sadly it had a failed breakout of the ascending triangle. Here we had the resistance right around the 84-cent mark, and it had this very decent uptrend, almost signaling a breakout. But that resistance here around the 80s is still pretty darn solid. Can we hold the 50-cent mark is where I'd like to get in at. That's going to be a question for next week. Zoom is another one that I'm watching. Slight resistance around the $420 mark. Slightly lower highs, I'd say, but it still has some decent resistance around 406. Again, I do think this could hold around the $400 mark, but my bet is it's going to probably come down, which I want it to, because I'd probably get in down under the 400s, and it's going to retest the 377 support, and then it has another level around 365. And of course, we have the whole number of 350 that we're going to probably retest there. As for some of our members that traded some stocks, they were trading DocuSign, which Kiwa, shout out to you. You had some massive gains on this one. Let me see if I could find it. I think you sold some of your position. I'm not too sure. That was my position. Crazy gains on this one. So shout out to you. But as for a position for me, if I look to get into this one, it'd probably be on a pullback. It's a little overextended for me now, especially on the 15-minute. 250 is definitely going to be some slight resistance there. You can see the spike here to 256, and then it pulled right back. So maybe a pullback to the 220s. I'd probably be interested in getting there. I know it had its ER, so we'll see. So I think that's pretty much it for my watch list, guys. Once again, short video. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week bright and early on Monday for another trading day. Take care, guys.